Shalom from English Finishing School, and I welcome you all to the second lecture of the grammar session. In the last video, we learned about the parts of speech. 9 parts of speech are there which we use in speech and sentences. And in today's video lecture, we are going to learn about nouns, that is the first part of speech. Now, I already told you in the last video that noun is a name. Noun is a naming word. And in this video, we are going to learn about various types of nouns. So let's understand it step by step. The first type of nouns we have with us is the proper versus common noun. So when I say proper, obviously it is a proper name. The name itself suggests a proper name. It can be the name of a particular person, like I have a name that is Yogita. You have a name like Shafi, Riddhima, Rima, and then there are various names of things also which are particular. You eat chocolates. Which brand do you eat? Like Cadbury, Munch, Nestle, Milky Bar, Dairy Milk. All these are proper nouns. You like to visit various places like Delhi, Jaipur, Mumbai, Bangalore. So all these are particular names of places. And then you have particular names of brands of pens which you use, of pencils which you use, and then brands of companies, clothes, all will come under proper nouns. And then all common names are the generic names. Generic means they belong to a category. If I talk about Natraj, this belongs to the category of pencils. If I talk about Cadbury, Munch, Nestle, all these particular names belong to one category, that is chocolates. If I talk about Delhi, Mumbai, Bathinda, let's say Punjab, they all belong to one particular category, that is state, city, place. So these all are generic names and they are all common nouns. The next category of types of nouns is collective versus compound nouns. So when I say collective, I talk about one word representing a group of people, group of places, group of things. For example, a team. Team can represent many group of people. A team consists of many players. So we say a team of players. And then we have staff. A staff consists of many members, employees. You can say staff consists of employees. A staff is a collective noun. And then staff and then class. Class consists of many students, a class of students. So collective noun is one word which represents many. Like an army consists of soldiers. So collective nouns are basic words consisting of many groups. And then we have compound nouns. Now compound noun denotes for two nouns combined together making it one word. Understand few words like a rainbow. Two words, rain and bow, are connected and they make a new word. And then we have father-in-law. Father and law are connected together by putting hyphens and then it becomes a compound noun. Various other words like woodcutter, sunshine are called compound nouns. Then the third category of nouns we have before us is abstract versus concrete nouns. Now when we talk about abstract nouns, human body has 5 senses. We have sense to hear, we hear with our ears. We have sense to see, we see with our eyes. We have here that sense of touching, we touch with our hands. And then we have sense of smell, we smell with our nose. And then we have sense of taste, we taste with our tongue. So these 5 senses are to be felt only, are to be experienced only. But do we really feel all those senses? Sometimes the senses are not realized. If we can feel something with our senses, that makes it a concrete noun. Let's say a table is there. I can see a table, I can touch a table, but I cannot hear. I cannot smell that table, I cannot taste that table. So 2 senses are applied on that noun, that is table. So I will call it a concrete noun. Now what makes an abstract noun is something which we cannot realize with any of these 5 senses. Let's talk about happiness. Happiness is just a feeling to be felt from heart. We cannot taste happiness, we cannot touch happiness, we cannot see happiness, we cannot hear happiness, and when we cannot smell happiness. So all these 5 senses do not apply on abstract nouns, and concrete nouns means even one sense applies on a particular word, it will make it a concrete noun. but then there are exceptions to the rule. Some people get often confused with some objects which we hear and they call it concrete noun. Talk about the word music. Now, music is a word. People would say that I can hear music, so it is a concrete noun. But understand, music you are not hearing. You are hearing an instrument on which that music is played. So, probably if you are listening to or hearing harmonium, so hearing that equipment or instrument, music is to be felt. So, music would not come under concrete noun. Music will fall under abstract noun because it is to be felt only internally by a soul, by a heart. So that is all about abstract and concrete nouns. Next comes the category of material nouns. Now, what are material nouns? Things, fabrics, metals, all things are made up of something. Like if you talk about, I'm wearing a particular dress. My dress is made up of cotton. It may be made up of fabric called silk, woolen or else linen. And then things are made up of like chair and table are made up of wood. Your doors and windows of your house may be made up of iron, all metals, all non-metals, and then you can say all fabrics, they fall under the category of material noun. Even plastics also fall under this category. Glass also falls under this category. So materials are the raw matter which make things, which are used to make things further, are called material nouns. And the last but not the least, we are going to discuss about some subcategories of nouns, which are again very, very important to understand. Singular versus plural nouns. Singular denotes one and plural denotes many. Boy, boys, girl, girls, like chair, chairs, and mouse, mice, foot, feet, tooth, teeth, and the list goes endless. And then we have masculine versus feminine nouns, wherein masculine stands for male, that is he, and feminine stands for female, that is she. Boy, girl, uncle, aunt, or say father, mother, all these are masculine and feminine nouns. Then comes the category of countable versus uncountable nouns. So when we say countable, the name itself says, I can count the countable nouns. I can count chairs, I can count tables, I can count books. But there are certain things I cannot count. I cannot count liquids. I cannot count water. I cannot count milk. I cannot count stars. I cannot count rice. Something which I just, when I go to shop, I want to buy a particular thing. I say, give me 1 kg. I am just talking about the quantity to take a thing. I'll say it is uncountable. When I ask something in number, give me 5 apples, give me 6 mangoes. Yeah, there are certain things which we take in quantity, but yes, we can count them when they lie on the table. So that makes it countable versus uncountable. All your sauces, all your jams, all your liquids, and even all abstract nouns like happiness, heat, love will fall under the category of uncountable nouns. So that's all about the journey of nouns, and I hope you have understood it clearly. Any doubts will come back to you with clarity, and all your confusions will go away related to nouns. That's all about today. See you tomorrow with a new thing, with a new concept.